So I want to talk today about how inquiry and the path of the diamond approach continues a process that is really a completely natural process. It's a process that has been going on in you from the earliest part of your life, that develops to a certain point and can take another step. And I'm going to illustrate this using talking about a particular quality of our nature, a way that we can feel, right? And I'm going to think about or talk about that quality of sweet, melting, satisfied love, right? So this is, you know, the feeling like maybe when you snuggle up in your lover's arms and you feel content and happy and like everything is right in the world and everything's good and you're just at ease and your mind relaxes and you just feel yummy and content and like you can totally let go, right? So this is a quality that, you know, or everybody's looking for in one form or another. So let's look a little bit at the history, at how this quality develops through our lives. So at the beginning, a baby usually experiences this quality after, say, a good feed, right? She's lying in her mother's arms, she's satisfied and had what she needs, and she can just lie there and bliss out, and she's just totally relaxed and letting go, right? So at first, as the baby's mind develops, this particular quality is kind of inseparable from mum, right? It's like lying in mum's arms or being satisfied, having eaten, right? Having had a good feed, she relaxes and feels blissful and delightful, right? So the quality at first is all about mum. Now, that's fine. That's one possibility. Usually at some point, circumstance will arise when mum's not available, right? And the baby can't have mum, but still needs this sweet melting letting go. And maybe in that particular situation, somebody comes along, maybe mum comes along and gives her a dummy, right? And at first it's like, no, don't want that, rejection, upset. But at some point, maybe she takes the dummy and it's like, oh, okay, that's okay. I can relax with that too. Right? So now this quality that at first was only about mum can now happen with mum, and it can sometimes happen when there's no mum, but there's a dummy. Right? Now, maybe a little bit later on, it's not about mum and the dummy, and she's wanting it, and there's no mum and there's no dummy, and she kind of recognizes, oh, there's a nice, soft, cuddly toy, her teddy bear, right? And she can snuggle up to the teddy bear, and the quality is available again. So now, each step, right, this quality of sweet melting is becoming available under more and more circumstances. It's getting more and more free. A very big developmental step happens when the child one day, right, needs to relax, needs to let go. Maybe there's no mum, no toy, no blanket, none of that's really doing it anyway, right? And then maybe she thinks about mum. And just the idea of mother, the image of mother, or she does something that mum would want her to do that sort of connects her with mum. And as she does that, she feels that connection and she feels the sweetness and she kind of melts and relaxes. And lo and behold, now this quality is available not with an actual external physical object, but with a thought, with an internal mental idea, right? Now that's a huge step in freedom, right? Because suddenly the child is not needing actual mum to regulate her. She can get this by an internal process. Now, so at each of those stages, you can see the possibilities that open up for life then are much vaster, right? I mean, if we really had to get our physical mother every time we wanted to chill out a bit, right? We'd be really in trouble. We'd be very, very limited. As adults, by the time we become adults, we have developed very many sophisticated ways in which we can access this sweet melting relaxation. We can have it with our partner, maybe we can have it with our families or with our our children. We can still have it with our mother sometimes, under the right conditions, right? We can have it with ideas. We can have it when we think about our mother, or think about our family, or think about our community, or our church, or think about God or our religion, or think about our country, or whatever we feel connected to, right? So this particular quality, this way in which you can feel sweet and melting and relaxed and at ease and taken care of, finds all kinds of avenues for expression in our lives. All of those examples that I've just mentioned are some kind of external circumstance or some kind of idea, right? It's linked with a mental idea. And that's fine, but more is possible, right? And the next step that's possible that happens in the diamond approach is that we can recognize that this quality of sweet melting contentedness is not just a function of our thoughts and ideas or our circumstance, right? But if we can learn to sense our very presence, to feel our here-ness, our tangible here-ness, we can discover that that is actually where that feeling comes from. That feeling is not then conditional even on thinking an idea, but on simply sensing myself, sensing my consciousness. And when I sense that, I can sense it, and it is simply in the sensing, in the being present, in my presence, that I can sense, oh yeah, that my presence is the sweet melting contentedness, right? And it doesn't matter what's going on out there to some degree, or at least much less. And it doesn't matter even what I'm thinking or whether I have a particular idea or concept, right? I can let all of that go, and it is simply in the very beingness, in my very beingness, that this quality is to be found, right? Can you imagine? That is, again, an even a quantum leap in freedom, because suddenly you're no longer contingent or much less contingent on the external circumstances or on behaving in a certain way or holding a certain ideology, right? That all works very well, but what happens when one day you wake up and you're like, you know, I just don't think I can square the circle with this religion anymore. Now what? And suddenly you feel like, oh, you've lost all of your comfort and all of that sweetness and that relaxation and that safety because it was connected with that idea. So to recognize that this quality is just a quality of your being, that's not contingent on any of that, this is a radical step, a radical liberation. And that can then change how you live your life. Sure, you can still feel it and express it in your relationships and your communities and your ideas and your every aspect of your life, but you're not limited by that. Right? The only thing that's necessary is your presence. So this kind of developmental process can take place with countless qualities that we need to live our lives. Sweet relaxation, merging and melting as one, but strength, will, determination, right? That's a quality that maybe we can feel strong and determined when we have somebody backing us up, right? But imagine discovering that no, the sense of determination is just in your presence, right? It's not actually, doesn't depend on whether the person agrees with you or not. It's just you sensing what's real, right? That's what gives you the sense of solidity. With joy, with contentment, with value, with peacefulness, right? With delight, with pleasure, right? With kindness and love. So many different qualities. In the diamond approach, we take the step to discover that these qualities, that all they really depend on in the first step of the journey is simply our presence, right? They are simply qualities of our presence, right? They are not, in fact, created by our circumstances or created by our minds. So that's one way to think about what the journey is and how it can be so radically relevant and liberating for your life.